gaslight, love bomb, future fake, and is trying to deny, distract, and demean you so that your argument no longer stands, and that so ultimately you never figure out what the answer is. Did your narcissist ignore the elephant in the room? Were they always trying to hide and get away from stuff that were actually there, staring you in the face? Did it always seem like there was something else going on that they never wanted to be accountable to or own up to? Well, a popular idea with narcissism is the idea of trying to run away, be able to hide from topics and arguments and things that pop up that might make them activate shame or guilt or feel bad about certain things. That's why narcissism as a whole is very shame avoidant, always trying to run from or hide from different aspects that might have accountability or responsibility. If you're new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I run Raw Motivations. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this platform and several others to provide awareness, growth, healing, and change. And I do that on a day-to-day basis by dropping little nuggets of truth all over on social media. And if you don't have a chance, follow me on some of those other platforms. So I'm on podcasts, Apple, Spotify. We're here on YouTube right now, but then also TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search Raw Motivations and give us a follow and a like and a couple shares there, because a lot of people don't know what narcissism is and don't understand what's actually happening in narcissistic relationships, how destructive they can be, how they destroy lives, families, business ventures, relationships, you name it. It comes into people's lives and it destroys very quickly and very destructively. And what you have to understand about narcissism is how it's based, how it's formed, how it grows, how it develops. And if you're just new learning about narcissism, I want to invite you to watch a lot of the other videos that I've put up, because a lot of people don't understand what they are. And the more they're able to drink from the fire hydrant of narcissism and educate themselves in it as a whole, the more they're able to start to see it. Once you see it, you don't unsee it. And it's a lot easier to be able to spot in different ways. But with a narcissist, they're normally avoiding specific things. They're normally avoiding things that are going to activate shame, that are going to activate guilt. Some people might be thinking, well, narcissists really don't interact with guilt. They don't have that issue of guilt being in their lives because they don't have feelings, they don't have empathy, all different things like that. Well, that's not 100% true when you think of the aspect that a narcissist is run off of guilt and is run off of shame. The difference is guilt for a narcissist is very quick. It happens very quickly, almost microscopically at times, because it's passed through very fast to get to shame. See, for a narcissist, they do something and it might register in their mind for a split second, I just did something bad. But then it switches to shame almost as soon as that moment has happened. Instead of it being, I did something bad, therefore I am bad. And it adds this shame aspect to them. Now, it could have been something that they've done, could be something that they felt, could have been something that they felt from early childhood or development or relationships, whatever it might be. But that shame ends up being something that the narcissist is wanting to avoid and is wanting to run away at all costs. Think of it if like a car is coming at us and you're standing behind me. If a car is coming at us at 50 miles an hour and on the front bumper of the car it says guilt, and it says shame. As that gets closer and closer, what the narcissist realizes behind the wheel is accountability and responsibility. And if they stand there long enough, they're going to get impacted by those truths. And as a result, they're going to have to face the guilt and the shame that they feel and actually process it and deal with it. So for a narcissist, seeing that come at them, they're going to do everything in their power to get away, oftentimes jumping out of the way of that car and letting it go and run over the next person. Not because they hate the next person, but because they don't care. All they care about in that moment is getting out of the path so that they're not impacted by guilt and shame because of how awful that feels. So this is why narcissists will avoid those hard conversations. Did you have those moments where you're like, I feel like I just cannot discuss with him like the hard stuff. I feel like she can't handle like mature conversations. We always get into a fight. It always ends up being this big thing. It always gets thrown back in my face. All these type of things happen in narcissistic relationships when they can't progress with those conversations. For me growing up, a popular one that I had was like at a younger age, I would grab like a pillow and I'd hold a pillow. Or I'd like hide my face behind a pillow, or I'd be funny and like try to distract people from the topic at hand, because I didn't like that serious conversation. I didn't like what it activated, what it felt like inside of me, and I had to be able to avoid it at all costs. The thing is, with the hard conversations, what normally comes in those conversations is accountability. Accountability for the actions of what the narcissist has done. Like, hey, what you did the other day by cheating on me was wrong. Like, you need to be accountable for that because that is not something we agreed to in this relationship. The hard conversations also have responsibility. The narcissist has to take responsibility for their actions. Okay, it's not just one thing to say, hey, you did it, but you have to own it. Say, yeah, no, that was my choice. They don't want to take that responsibility. They'd rather push it back on someone else or blame someone else of actually, it wasn't my fault that it happened. It was your fault. How many people have heard that? Leave it down in the comments of like, you've heard it so many times. This was your fault. You are the reason why I cheated. You are the reason why I did this. You are the reason why I yelled at you. You are, and they always blame it back on the other person. The other thing is they don't want to take that ownership. Kind of along the same lines, but actually owning this is not only what I've done, but this is also who I am. A narcissist doesn't want to approach those tough subjects of accountability, responsibility, or ownership because those aspects of it bring about guilt and shame. So what's the narcissist do? Well, a couple things. Deny, distract, and demean. The three things that they're trying to do to be able to get away from these conversations, to be able to avoid these conversations, and ultimately not have these conversations, they'll distract, they'll deny, and they'll demean. So the first one I want to talk about is deny. First off, easy one. When it happens, hey, you did this. I didn't appreciate it. No, I didn't. They'll deny right away, and oftentimes they'll deny by using lies, just flat out lies saying this didn't happen, or no, I didn't go to the store, I went, here, or wherever it might be, and they'll lie about everything. The thing you have to realize in a relationship is there's a lie, and then there's the lie of omission, which majority of times narcissists will make you feel like you're an idiot for saying that that's lying. They'll be like, that wasn't lying. I was just forgetful, or I forgot to tell you, or I shouldn't have to tell you every single detail about what I do in my life on a day-to-day basis. It still is lies. The narcissist will immediately try to deny. They'll try to deny the situation. Then they'll try to distract. And they distract typically with three strategies. Typically when they distract, they're looking to change your reality. That's really what it comes down to. A narcissist wants to put you in a false reality. They do it in three different ways. First way that they do it is they take a look at everything that just happened, and they use those lies and manipulations to prove and to state and to say that what you just experienced wasn't actually real. Like it didn't happen that way. You're remembering it wrong. Maybe you're overexcited about it. You're over acting about it. Like whatever you're remembering, it didn't actually happen that way. And they'll try to change that reality of what you remember, saying that, hey, that is actually false. Then they'll try to change your reality in the moment of saying, hey, like it's okay. Like let's focus on this. And they'll bring something up, or a topic, or a person, or a compliment, or they'll start re-engaging in different ways that you're like, wow, like this reality that I was thinking actually isn't that bad because here they are. They're showing up. They're helping out. They're doing what I asked of them. And then you have the reality where they're promising you something and you're saying, hey, it'll be better in the long term. When we go on this trip, when we have this vacation, when we do this, when I get into therapy, when I work on this. And the narcissist works on distracting you in those three different ways. Did you catch what they were? Gaslighting, love bombing, and future faking. Those are the popular strategies that a narcissist uses. Those three strategies to be able to distract you from the topic at hand, from the thing that you're trying to discuss. And then they move into demeaning you, and that's putting you down. Whether that's shaming you because of the shame they feel, or whether that's shaming you because they're trying to project another emotion or an idea on you. But then the idea is, let me go ahead and demean their argument, tear it down, break it down, make sure that you get put down so that your argument, the topic, anything like that is known. It is no longer safe to be brought up in this relationship. And as a result, we end up ignoring the topic. And we never come back to the fact of what actually happened. What typically happens when they deny, distract, and they demean the other person, it ends up being very antagonistic. And you spend more time trying to defend yourself than you do figuring out the answer to your question. So let me ask you this. When you confronted your narcissist about something, did you get the answer out of them? Did they finally tell you what you wanted to know? Oftentimes, when I talk to people, they'll realize that over the pattern of time, over the pattern of this argument, this discussion, they'll realize I've got through the entire discussion, I've got through the entire thing, and we never solved the original question. Because the narcissist is easy and good at denying and distracting and demeaning you to be able to run from that topic, to be able to ignore it, shove it down, and to be able to run away. So be careful, because you might have a narcissist in your life that's out there that's trying to change your realities, gaslight, love bomb, future fake, and is trying to deny, distract, and demean you so that your argument no longer stands, and that so ultimately you never figure out what the answer is, what the question that you're trying to get across. You never get that response from that person, because the narcissist is great at ignoring the problem in the room. So be careful. If some of these things ring true, reach out for help. Would love to be able to talk to you, be able to help you along your healing journey. You can click on the link down below, or you can go to my website, rawmotivations.com. Would love to be able to help you as you continue to heal, grow, and change together. Thanks so much.